So recently I sat down to watch The Witch for the first time. I mentioned in my Northman review that I was going to finally watch all three of Robert Eggers' films, so while I definitely started them in a weird order, I figured his first film was up next on the agenda. And while his horror debut probably isn't one of my favorites in the genre at the moment, I can definitely say this is one of the more memorable ones I've seen in a while. The Witch is about this Puritan family in the 1630s that encounter dark forces in their nearby woods that result in increasingly strange episodes among the family. Unlike most horror films I've seen, this one relies almost entirely on its eerie atmosphere and less on traditional scares, making this a horror film that intends to creep you out more than anything. This is a very slow-building story where we rarely actually see the titular witch and instead focus on the different family members and see just how they're affected by this hidden power that really leaves things up to the imagination during most of the film. The cinematography does a great deal in conveying this tense atmosphere, and many times we get shots that isolate our characters and emphasize just how close this threat may be at all times. The performances of the entire family are what really help sell this madness as well. Each character seems to hold this profound strength in their faith that becomes more and more hopeless as each member either turns on the other or starts doubting what they believe in, resulting in some very impactful performances from the entire cast. I will say though, regarding how it builds up its story, while I did appreciate how it takes its time and keeps things tense, I do think the first third does meander a bit after the very beginning and didn't keep me quite as hooked until the second act kicked in. Also, and this is much more minor, I did find it a bit difficult to engage with the dialogue at first due to its commitment to Old English. This was definitely a movie that I felt I had to watch with subtitles so I could take it all in, but regardless, I did appreciate the authenticity the director was going for. Even with those minor issues, overall, I found The Witch to be one of the most effective horror movies I've seen due to its slow-building narrative and eerie atmosphere made better by its great performances. And with one more movie left on this list, I suspect Robert Eggers may be a name that I'll be paying attention to a lot more now.